well.
Is there? It's quite noisy, isn't it?
For a fridge that wasn't supposed to be noisy, it's extremely noisy.
You're gonna have to move it.
I don't want to.
Too far away.
I'm not your friend, and I don't care.
Ooh. Yeah.
That's better.
No.
That's better. More natural looking.
Mr. Ford. Good evening.
Are we on already?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's 8 o'clock. Mr. Ford.
We loved your renovation, didn't we? His lights and his little trim and that.
Yes. We love your little trim.
Yeah.
We liked your thing, but what I was going to say was we're actually on a very low ebb tonight.
So will you entertain us?
I'm quite tired. Well, what I wanted to say was Fáilte Arash go the Rainmaker on Rainmaker. Fáilte Arash Arish. Let's welcome back. It's not funny. Oh, maybe he's laughing at us trying to entertain him. But we're on it. Good evening, Aaron.
Oh, he's on Inch Beach. Very good.
Ah, lovely. Inch Beach. Good evening, Laura. So, Inch Beach, yeah, wow.
It's a long time since we were there, isn't it?
Last August, we drove near it. We didn't go onto it, but we were in the region. Remember, we were in what's it called, Glengarriff?
That's Hinch. We were. No, don't mind me.
No, we weren't a million miles away from
Yeah.
it, but we didn't. It was on the to-do lists, but typical me trying to squeeze in too many things. We didn't get to the beach.
That's how we ended up in this situation.
We had to get to Cork. Where did we go after Kerry? Went to Cork, did we?
I'm over here in Kerry.
Remember we parked down by the little harbour?
Came home that day.
Oh, did we? And we had to come via Cork, obviously. That's what I was thinking, yeah. So I am knackered tired.
You're in work every day bar one this week, weren't you?
I was working,
Well,
I always work hard. But I was doing a lot of driving around and didn't sleep very well last night. And just maybe it's the weather. The weather, yeah, jinx.
Blame the weather.
Maybe it's the weather. I'm just kind of. How are we looking? Are we looking?
Oh, Donald.
Hey, long time. Fragger ma na hearing. So Frasger ma. Is that a typo or is that Scotch Gaelic for something? Is it? Because ma we spell Maith.
Ask your mom.
Anyway, BJ's. Everyone's
Jesus
here tonight.
Christ.
Oh yeah, good question. Are you be buying it? I'd say he is. Actually, do you know what? Hello. Is there a delay? What's going on here? Are you being busy?
Crap weather here too.
Check your Instagram.
I'm assuming that's to me, is it?
Well, probably in general. We actually, I was there. I drove through Gore's Bridge today, a place in Kilkenny, and I think you've done a video not on Gore's Bridge, Greg na Manna. I think you did a video on Greg na Manna, Aaron. And whenever I pass through Gore's Bridge or Greg na Manna, that's mad.
We're live on Instagram.
Let me just see now. Let me just get the focus. I always go the wrong way. It's always the wrong way. Why do I always go the wrong way?
Story of your life.
Yeah. Hey. There's Charlie. The bell, Charlie. Very good. We look quite orange though in that thing, don't we? Anyway. So I was driving through Gore's Bridge, and I saw a camper van, and I thought it was yourself. And I stopped. I thought it was your other camper van, the original one. I was convinced it was the Heimer, and I stopped. I was going to go down, but then it wasn't you. I was quite disappointed. I was like, "Oh, there's Aaron," And
I added that to the story.
it wasn't you. What?
The
Oh, very good. What story?
our story. You know, you can put your little stories up there.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big Instagram fan at all.
Our scale.
Scale, yeah. So that's the thing. So lots of comments coming up. That's very good. I am in the Bebop. Very good. Using me phone, finding it awkward with keyboard. Yes, fat fingers. Sold my Tesla, so I'm celebrating tonight.
Cheers.
I'll celebrate with you, Donald. Cohorges, which is Irish for congratulations. And Kushnor is party. I am learning. I mean, Folum, that's learning. See? I know loads of words now. I just can't string a sentence together to save my life. But I am learning. So, Cohorges, which is, again, congratulations. And sell is deal. Car is car. I could do this all day, but I won't.
Please don't.
It's quite boring.
Yeah.
So, Jay's on the vino. Vanessa's not.
I'm on the Ishka.
The Ishka. So I'm on the vino because Ireland's out of the Eurovision. I'm devastated.
Don't let that drip on you.
I'm devastated. I can't believe we're out of the Eurovision. I think is I keep going to say England, but it's not. It's Britain, isn't it? Is it Britain? The Britain is it the British? Yeah, you do. The British have an entry, isn't it? Britain, Great Britain, isn't it? It's not England. It is. It's Great Britain. Are they still in?
Or is it UK?
Does Northern Ireland have its own entry?
No.
Oh, because they're part of Great Britain. Yeah. So, yeah, I love the Eurovision.
Laura's on the G&T.
Good woman, Laura. All the Duolingo for Irish. Yes, that's what I'm using. I'm using Shycar. I'm using Duolingo, and I was using Rosetta Stone, but I'm gonna unsubscribe from Rosetta Stone because it's quite expensive, and I'm only using Duolingo, and I'm also getting lessons, so it's quite good. And we have Fiona teaching us. Fiona's very good.
Did you have a stroke?
No, I'm doing my own.
Oh.
Fiona's very good. She's She's doing her PhD. She has several degrees, and I'm well impressed by her. She's excellent. She's an excellent teacher. She could teach me Irish any day. She's very good, but not in that kind
only
of way.
On Wednesday.
Only on Wednesdays, yeah. So she's excellent, and you can tell she's doing her PhD because she's like a proper teacher.
You're boring me.
My energy levels are just kind of. So Donald sold his Tesla, as to quote Donald, he says it's a shy car. But I think Tesla. I think that you were saying the recognition system, but I have a feeling they're designed for probably
what's a recognition
American
system?
Well, because it's self-drive and stuff. You know that way. Yeah, stuff. Self-drive. But I think Donald was saying it was recognizing all sorts of mad stuff and causing them problems, stopping in the middle of the road on them. But I think it could be
that too.
It could be the algorithm's probably not designed for driving around Scotland. Probably. Because the computer just probably
Computer says no.
Probably, yeah, but listen, at least you tried it out. You replaced it with another electric car, though, I think, didn't you? Am I correct in saying that? You probably have it in down there. Let's see. So wild here in the MH Kent Coast. What's MH Kent Coast mean? What's MH? MH. You'll have to explain MH to us. It's clearly a UK term. I don't get it. Dueling. G&T is tile lame usage V. See, it's interesting, isn't it? Scots Gaelic is an offshoot of
Are we going to talk about
Irish
Gaelic the whole
Gaelic?
time? Because I'm going to leave.
And apparently, if you speak Irish Gaelic, you can speak Scotch Gaelic. You can understand enough. But there's a few things that are quite different.
It's like if you speak Spanish, you can understand Portuguese.
Yeah, but over time it's kind of drifting. But not as many people speak. It's all on the West Coast, and apparently speaking Scotch Gaelic, according to my understanding, is quite the
motorhome.
You're quite the rebel.
MH motorhome.
Oh, motorhome. Oh, very good. You're quite the rebel for speaking Scotch Gaelic. Apparently, I was listening to a thing one day, and they were saying about it's the same way here that if you not now speaking Irish is considered cool. But I think years ago, if you spoke Irish, people thought there was something wrong with you, that you were backwards or poor or something. and you're encouraged not to, especially on the East Coast. And my understanding is that Scots Gaelic is somewhat similar in that it's sort of disparaged against.
He said his was in 9 times for fixes
to body faults.
In 14 months. It did an emergency stop when it saw shadows.
Buying a Skoda Enyaq.
I like Skodas.
Skodas are a nice car now, I have to say. I do like Skodas. I like my Passat's very nice as well. It's very comfortable to drive around in. If I'm drunk, I can understand folks in Donegal. Very good. So, where in the Kent coast, Laura? That's nice, isn't it? It's nice the way, isn't it? So nice this. So, right, Faye, I'm completely drawn a blank on.
Jeez, that's the first time.
On even that speaking about Irish stuff is me just basically scraping the barrel.
Were we telling about our find in the van on Saturday?
Yeah, but will you do me a favour though? Like, I think the thing about when you tell stories, Faye, now I probably over contextualize. I'll admit that. I give too much backstory, side story, forward story. I get it. But you give none. You don't give any context. You just launch straight into the story. You don't give any kind of, well, wait, and I kind of, you need to give a bit of context. And by context, you need to say, just context.
Is that contextual enough for you?
Well, it's only because when you start talking about stuff, I'm like going, there's no context.
I'll give context. Okay, so.
Right, I'm going to sleep.
We were in the camper van. The camper van that we have, that's the reason why we have this channel. Okay, so we were in that. And then we drove down over to County Mayo.
Okay, now I thought you were going to. I thought you were going to skip through Mayo. I thought you weren't going to tell people that we were in Mayo. We're in Mayo.
Am I telling the story or are you?
That's going to peak. That's going to cause problems for me later.
You did this while we were on the video as well.
Yeah, no. We're obviously together too long. We're together 13 years on Monday.
We're married 13 years. We're together already. 15.
We're married 13 years on Monday, so it's 13. Go on anyway. Tell your story.
Can I tell it?
Go on.
Right. Where's the pacifier and we stuck it in your mouth? Shut you up.
I'll drink this.
So, we went to Mayo. So we drove through Mayo and went to a place called Achill Island. Lovely, lovely place. That Jason is convinced we have been before, but we're not too sure. Anyway, that we have been.
I don't think it was you.
No. So
I think it was my ex.
We got there and we were there for a while and we done the usual, what we always do when we get anywhere is we parked up and then we were like, is that a better spot? Is over there a better spot?
What?
No, maybe over here is a better spot.
Oh.
Does that look flatter? No.
No, that's too much context.
So
what? That's too much context. What's that got to do with the story?
I'm telling the story. You want the story in detail. Anyway. So we parked up eventually. We parked and then we realised no, we were too far forward, so we put the shocks out. And then we realised no, we're still not flat. So we then turned the van around. So I'm doing a J step. We turned the van around.
I wouldn't go. Yes,
you would. So that we were then.
Can I just interrupt for one? No. Can I just interrupt for 1 second?
At least you asked this time.
Just when I'm parking the van, when a dog does this thing on the cushion, you know that thing, right? You know the way dogs do it. That's me parking the van.
That's exactly
I'm kind of going. Oh, I can never. Is it over there or there? And
mind
I'm
your
always
arms swinging them out the mouth.
Anyway, that's just an analogy,
right? So that's basically what it was. So eventually we settled on a spot and we got up and we were grand. So Jason said, right, what do I need to do next? And I said, well, turn the chairs. And he was like, oh, I'll have to pull the handbrake and we'll roll off the chocks. And I said, well, just turn mine then. So that we've one chair and the driver's chair wasn't turned. So that was grand. So he got out and he turned around.
Aaron's like, what did you find? A dead body.
I'm keeping you in suspenders.
You'll see, I have a video. It'll be in the video. But
so he got out and he was trying to turn the chair and it wouldn't go, and he was twisting and turning it and it wouldn't move. It just kept jamming. So I think you were down on the ground, were you? Or you were down on the doorstep? Well,
Well, you see,
Just answer. Were you down on
the
the
way
ground or
the
the
way
lowest
we were,
up point?
because of the slope, the van was quite high, and I was down on the ground, looking under the seat to see
So
what
he
was
was
going
looking
on.
under the seat, and lo and behold,
I have it, haven't I? I kept it.
probably in the
I'll
van.
go out and get it.
Lo and behold, he pulls this utensil out of from underneath the seat, and he went, "What part of the seat is this?" So he was like, "V, look what I'm after finding. What is it?" So if anyone remembers, VW had the van. What was it, 6 weeks ago? And you're cleaning up the upholstery, and they were Scotch guarding it and steaming it and whatnot. So they basically, obviously, when they were cleaning the chairs, they managed to jam a utensil head off the steamer in underneath one of the chairs, and didn't bother their backside trying to pull it out, or tried to pull it out and they couldn't. So they thought, oh, they'll never find that because they're never going to want to turn the chair, you know. So that's what we found, jammed in under the chair. So Jason has it here now.
But
so they'd obviously
put.
I'd say what they were doing was they were steaming it and sucking the. That looks to me like something that you'd suck the water off.
Yeah, it's that's no, it's for spraying.
So they
and then that sucks
it up. Yeah, so they basically, it got jammed underneath the chair, and they obviously thought, oh, they're never going to find that. It's grand. We'll leave it there. We won't bother going trying to look for it. But of course, we turned the chairs around. So
I think with the comments coming up, I think you're giving up too much context.
Am I?
Yeah, I think so, possibly.
Why?
Nothing. Just go on. Well, can I just sort of say? So you see, for the way it happened was when I looked under the seat, I saw it from this angle. You see, so this piece here, it had me completely baffled. Because I was like going, what is this? I was kind of going, how has that come? What part of the seat is it? And then I was thinking, what have I done? So, because I could only see this part. And then, you know, you're kind of afraid to take it out. And then it came out and I was like, oh, what? And then it dawned on me what it was. And I thought, oh my God. And you can see it's a little bit broken because underneath the passenger seat, are where the fuses to the cabin are, and basically this part here was sort of in the fuses, and I was kind of thinking now if liquid or anything had gone into the fuses or dislodged any of the fuses, we'd have been completely baffled as to what was going on. But we contacted VW anyway.
Yeah.
We contacted. I sent him an email saying we found this. Like seriously. And they came back to us to say, that's grand, you can keep it.
Yeah, like, that's no joke.
You can keep it.
So the guy was trying his best to get off the phone to me, and I said, no, I appreciate that. I said, and we'll throw it out, that's no problem, we've no use for it.
I'm keeping it as an ornament.
The problem for us is the obvious lack of care and respect of somebody's property when it's in there. I said, I wouldn't mind. It's not the first, the second, or the third time that something has gone wrong when it's gone over there. So,
well,
he thought he'd never get off the phone. He was like, "Oh well, I'm sorry." I said, "No, and I appreciate the call. However," I said, "it's just another thing."
Well,
just leaves a very bad taste in your mouth, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, considering they ransacked the back of it, and I'd say, look, anyone who has a camper van, you'd know yourself that it's like. When we got the van back and the way they had treated the back of the van, and I keep it really organised because you have to, because it's a small space, and the way it was all thrown together, and it was all wet as well because remember they had to replace the pump, and it's still even in the back of the California in the little locker, the shelves are metal and one of them has corroded slightly, and it's just not. But I get the thing for me is it gave me such a fright. I was like, what is it? I thought, what is that? And then it dawned on me. But the fact that obviously clearly it had come off the top of someone's hose and they just left it, they couldn't get it in. And you kind of go, like.
But one good thing that came out of the whole thing
What's that?
You found a new way to get down to the fuses.
Oh, yes, that is true. It did occur to me because I had to change a fuse before and it's very awkward. But here's a tip for anyone, and this will be part of the 5-year video when we do it. if you just if you rotate the seat,
I love
if you
Rory's
put if
stories.
if you rotate the seat and then push it forward, you have perfect access. If you turn the seat into facing into the cabin position and then push it forward, you can access the fuse really easily, as opposed to what I was trying to do.
Lean over.
And I think actually, if you're trying to access the fuses that are in the dashboard and down the center, it would be the clever thing to do is to rotate the seat and push it. Just gives you far more room. So that will go in. I was going to do the 5-year plus video this weekend, but Vanessa's graduating from her crash guidance counselling thing.
Career guidance.
And and so we won't be doing anything this weekend. And because I need to do it outdoors, it's to be raining. Vanessa's getting her vaccine. I've registered for my vaccine. So that's the thing. So what are people saying?
Read Rory's.
Did you hear about the man who fell into an upholstery machine? He's fully recovered now. Very good.
I do love the stories, Rory.
Very good, Rory. You must have a big book of jokes, do you? Yes, all joking aside, it is a little shoddy. It's just, again, it's sort of...
I just have a very bad taste in my mouth now with them. I really do.
Well...
Because,
I'm going to contact VW directly.
We've given them chance to rectify.
Yeah.
Like, I went over a list of 13 things. They've actually added on since then.
Yeah.
The stuff that they've done internally. Do you know what I mean? No, and it's not like I'm not talking about like I'm going to sue them, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. It's just they're like, Jesus, lads, try better. Like
they don't care. You see, you can't appeal to people when they don't care. That's the problem. You know, they don't. When they don't care, you've nowhere to go with them. And the problem is, it's like an iPhone. We've bought into the ecosystem. There's nothing we can do. It's a VW van, and we have to go back to them. Now, because I have the VW Passat, I went to a different VW dealership to get it serviced, just to try someone else. And they were terrible as well. They have a real attitude problem. That's the thing. When you go into these VW guys, I don't know what it is. They just seem to have some kind of attitude problem.
What's that thing flashing up on the screen?
It's saying that one of the chips is full. Yeah. It's saying number 2 is full. I should have erased it, but people can't see it. So they just seem to have a bit of an attitude problem. That's the thing I find, that they're all sunshine and lollipops when you're handing over your cash. But the minute they've got their cash off you and then they hand you over to those service people, it's like good luck. It's a bit like what an analogy for me will be. It's a bit like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Right? You know when you get the kids, children, you know that guy, the child catcher, children, and he's so in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, right? There's a guy going, there's no children in this town in Austria or somewhere, and next thing, the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, which was, do you know who wrote Chitty Chitty Bang Bang? Your man Fleming, who wrote James Bond. Anyway, Ian Fleming. So next thing, he's going, chill lollipops, and he brings them in. And then when they get in, for some reason, he drops the sides down. He shows it's the cage, which seems crazy because, you know, it seems kind of overdoing it. But anyway, you know where I'm going with that. But anyway, that's what VW are like. VW are like the child catcher in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Once they've got you, the sides drop off and you see you're in a cage with those guys. And then they drive off. And all the children were kept in a kind of castle. A Schloss, I think, is what they're called in German, possibly. And... yeah, all the children were slaves up in the hill. So that's VW. VW is basically the child catcher in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Allegedly.
Shitty Bang Bang.
Oh, Vanessa. So Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. James Bond, Ian Fleming wrote that. You can check that. That's true. That is true. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. That's what they call it, Chitty Chitty, because the car goes and then goes bang bang. Brilliant, brilliant movie. I love it. It's one of my favourites. When they made proper movies for kids that weren't... well, I suppose I was going to say it wasn't full of violence, but a child catcher is a bit odd, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and then when you think of like Willy Wonka, is it all a bit...
Willy what?
Wonka. I'm only messing. That was all. It was a bit of an crazy movie as well. Great.
Well, you have to have some level of danger to make things exciting, I suppose.
That's why I like going to the Cheerios Christmas Panto, because it's not only for the kids.
What's the scariest kids movie you guys ever saw? E.T. used to freak me out. I didn't like that alien at all. His glowing chest and his weird finger. Weird.
Silence of the Lambs.
That's not a child's movie. That's not a child movie.
That was my first ever.
What else was scary? I'm showing my age now. I went to see Krull in the cinema. That was an amazing movie. And again, back when, I can remember going to it as a kid when you totally bought into it.
So did I give enough detail on the story?
Way too much. Way too much. See, that's how bad you are at giving backstory, because you go too far backwards. You were like, okay, so I was a fetus, and let's see, Laura, no retracting messages. Did you hear about them? Oh, we read that one. Yes, yes, read that. So, are you still tied in for? Well, probably not. I probably can get it serviced elsewhere, but part of me now, on some level, takes a guilty pleasure now and kind of going over and annoying them. I want to bump into the guy that sold it to us, because I've gone through. This is the phases I've gone through with him, right? Now he's a lovely guy, right,
yeah,
Jerry?
Nice.
He's very friendly and very accommodating. Obviously, when you're handing over 80 grand, everyone's got to be very friendly to you, right? So,
and to be fair, the day I went over with my list, he was very much like, okay, right, let's get the service guy in here. We'll sit down.
Yeah. And he gave us the Lego bus for Christian and all that. He is a lovely guy. He is a very nice chap.
Although I made it and Christian has never been allowed to touch you.
So, but I think the thing is, I'm going to go over and be kind of now. This is the thing. I've gone through the phases of he was familiar with me, but I wasn't. I was a bit awkward, sort of. It was like, this is because I don't know I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, when I buy the van, is that it? Then we're done. And it was, because he's like, I only sell them. And then, but he'd be kind of friendly and come over to you and how's it getting on? How are you getting on with it? So it was nice, but kind of, it's probably just me, really. But now I'm going to be going over, and if I bump into him, I'm going to say, dude, seriously. Like, W, T, F. WTF. Okay. So buy that chrome strip. It's easy to fit. Even you could fit it. Yes, I was thinking about that today, Mr. Ford. I think I will buy that.
I think we need to take a holiday and go over to Mr. Ford's house and stay in his house, and he can do all the bits and bobs to the van. Yes,
I did like your indicator job. That was very nice as well. The flashing indicators too. Yeah, I could definitely not do any of that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, I'd give it a go. VW even. Harry Potter, scary.
I've never seen
Aaron,
Harry Potter.
I meant when you were a child. What scary movie did you see as a child that scared you senseless? So let's see. Like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is good in a way. I'm trying to think of some other movies. Krull was very good. What else? What are the good movies? Oliver Twist.
Oliver was a bit scary.
Oh yeah. The way your man kills
the woman.
Yeah.
Nancy, was that her name?
I don't know. She was a lady tonight. Yeah. So let's see. Evening, lovely people. Good evening, Michael Williams. I always like when people call us lovely people. That's very nice, isn't it? Very nice. It's very true for one of us. So, not a child's movie. I think that was the problem. Harry Potter.
Salem.
Oh, Salem's Lot. Oh my God. Yes. That scared me.
Oh, the gremlins.
You know, you man. Oh, open the window. Oh, even now I get the chills. Oh my God. It's like, so what happens is basically a vampire moves into the village, and the guy that looks like Nosferatu. Did you ever see Nosferatu? Oh, he's the big pointy ears anyway. So
just like you.
So what happens is kids and people start to go missing, and they're turned. And the next thing, he's scratching at the window. He's like, "Let me in, Timmy." And he's scratching on the window because you have to, the vampires, you have to invite them in. And he's scared me silly. And another movie that scared me silly, but not a kid's movie, is The American Werewolf in London. That is an amazing horror movie.
You
absolutely
didn't like
brilliant.
The Exorcism of Emily Rose either.
Did not like that. That's too scary. No, I don't mind scary, but when they get too scary, the bit where your man falls out of the box backwards now.
What was that movie?
No, The Ring and all those movies. They're all just too...
That was a great movie. You wouldn't watch a scary movie with Jason.
No. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that scared me silly as well. I watched that as a kid and I shouldn't have.
He's too jumpy. So he's
Halloween, yes. Sorry. Halloween, great one, yes. The music, the soundtrack, very good, yeah. And Jamie Lee Curtis, she grew up to be quite a beautiful woman.
She was the woman in Trading Places, isn't
yes, she? That's what I remember her for.
Of course it is.
And I was watching a thing about the making of Trading Places, and everyone knows that she gets her boobs, she gets them out, and Dan Aykroyd and the guy that directed the movie, and I can't think of it now. And when she took her top off, they were all like going, "Wow," because she is spectacular, you know, and she's beautiful as well, absolutely beautiful. But very impressive, very impressive. So, but they're only boobs.
I met him.
Dan Aykroyd. Very good.
At Van Morrison concert.
Very good.
Backstage.
Very big man, isn't he?
Huge.
Yeah, very tall guy. Yeah, tall,
even
big.
Compared to me, like
tall, big guy. So we're always welcome. Well, that's good. We'll take you up on that one day, Mr. Ford, when we get out of the country. The plan is to go to the UK next year. Although we had all those plans for Scotland, and that was totally ruined. But anyway, my brother was terrified by the gremlins.
They were a bit weird.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, kid,
no,
the idea of that.
There is part. Do you know the bit where she's the bit that what's her name, and she's telling the bit about her dad dies up the chimney. That's the bit that everyone goes on about, that they're saying that she married. What was her name? What was her name? The actress she plays the main. Anyway, so Oliver, Ron Moo, no, very good, very good, yes. So, what else? What else is going on? Well, I thought of something there, but it's gone. See him in them. I'm kind of mentally like I'm just kind of.
Yeah.
We went away last weekend to Achill, and we went to the deserted village, and it is very nice, and Achill is beautiful. And the amazing thing was the deserted village was actually deserted, because I remember going there a long time ago. It's very popular with tourists, but it was just myself and the wee man and loads of sheep, and so we did that. I
stayed down and had a walk around the graveyard, didn't I?
Yeah, Vanessa can't walk at the moment because her back's killing her, but and then we drove across to Keem Bay, and absolutely beautiful. And then we parked up, and a lot of people stayed in tents overnight. But it was it's really, really nice. But again, the benefit of COVID is there are very few people in the country, and even actually driving across Achill and getting to Achill was
quite pleasant.
Well, because the roads just weren't that busy. Like driving around Achill was easy enough to do. But Achill is beautiful. But I'd love to go and I'd love to go and stay for a few days and hike Sleeve more. And go up and have a proper look around. It is amazing. It is amazingly beautiful place as well. So I've done a video, and of course it's a half hour long. So watch it in installments if you want. And it's a typical me video. The way I describe, there's a lot of sheep in it. If you like sheep, lots of sheep in the video. Some very cute bits though, isn't there? Very cute bits with the sheep. And Christian is adorable in it as well as usual. And I feature. I don't think I don't appear in it once. I just do. You can just hear me talking.
Oh, we can hear you now.
Yeah, I've noticed that about the videos. I'm never really in them. We need to work on that, because what's going to happen is we'll be down the road and we'll go, "That's what Vanessa used to look like. That's what Christian used to look like.
That's what Jason used to sound like."
Yeah. I need to start appearing in the videos a bit more. I used to do more of those self on me and put the camera to one position like that, but I don't seem to be doing that at the moment. Give us a look at that lens. It's because of my anamorphic lens.
On your big head.
This is the lens that I do. So this is my anamorphic lens, right? So the problem with it is that the minimum focal distance on it is
longer than the length of your arm.
No, the minimum focal distance is I think it's a couple of feet. Is it? Oh no, points. It's 2 foot. You have to be outside 2 foot. But what I do is I like the image it gets, right? So it's anamorphic. So I have to swap to the other lens to be in the videos more. But I need to start doing that because I'm kind of noticing I'm not in them a lot myself.
My pal David is here.
Oh, David. Will I leave the room? Will I?
No, go on. You can read it.
Will I leave the room?
You can read out what he says.
We all know V is the leading lady. Yes, that's very true. That's very true. And she's looking very fetching in the video as well, weren't you? First thing in the morning. So yeah, so that video will be going
sexy
up.
Jammies.
That video will go up either tonight or tomorrow, I think. Depending. Anyway.
Depending on what?
Well, I have to upload this video tonight.
You can do it tomorrow.
Oh no, do you know what it is? It's exporting it. It takes ages. That's the problem. That's the delay. Because you have to render the video and it takes quite a while. This is fascinating stuff for people to be watching, obviously.
Totally fascinating.
So, let's see. There are a few tents here tonight. Wonder how many tents will be left in the morning. Yeah. Oh, blowing. Well, yeah. If you put your tent up properly, it'll you know, there's a load of jokes in there now about tents and blowing, but. Right. So, what can't tell me? Loads of time. Well, this one's dragging, isn't it? Because I'm on a low ebb.
Dragging.
It is for me. I'm on a low ebb.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's just your attitude.
I'm on a real low ebb.
You need to give yourself a little snip.
No, I'm going to grow it so it's like, it's really slow. Your tash is really slow growing.
Oh, no, mine too.
Does anyone else have a beard? Why did I say that twice? I was going to say that twice. That's weird, isn't it?
You're weird.
That's very strange. But your tash is really, really, really slow growing. Maybe it's just me. But it does. I barely trim. Like I do the odd bits and pieces like that. But it's very slow growing. Very slow. Here it grows like crazy. But I don't know. What are we talking about, Faye? What are we talking about? Stop.
No.
I know. So, this is a first, but I'm out of topics.
Wowzer.
Yeah.
So when are we planning on doing the 5-year review? Probably next week or so.
Next weekend, if it's dry.
It's a bank holiday weekend.
Definitely next weekend if it's dry. Hopefully it'll be dry. Because I have to do the outside of the van and I can't do it in the rain. Cor Bosch D is rain, by the way. Oscarga. So, that will be an interesting video. And it's driving me mad that it's nearly 5.5 years. It's because I want it to be 5 years.
Well, then just wait for it to be 6
No,
years.
I just put it up as 5 years. I'll just say 5 years. I can't say 5 years plus either because people go, what's that mean?
Plus what?
Yeah, I know. So, topics, anybody? I'm open to suggestions. Not the 6.1.
He's not here.
Is he not?
No.
Where's pharmacist do it over the counter?
He's doing it over the counter.
Where is he? Hope he's okay. He's a he, isn't he?
Yeah.
I always assumed he's a he.
I assumed he was a he as well.
He is a he.
I don't know. I think he is.
Ah, he is, yeah.
He is now.
He is.
I
think he's told us his name before.
He probably has. I can't remember.
God, we're terrible. This is the worst podcast ever. Do you know that?
You are.
This is just shocking.
Oh.
Like, we've nothing to talk about and you're yawning.
I'm always yawning though.
I know. I was yawning today. It was terrible. First thing in the morning I was yawning. God almighty. What do you want to talk about, Faye? What do you want to talk about?
How quick your fingernails grow.
No.
What do you think?
That's like saying paint drying.
Does anyone else's fingernails grow quickly?
Mine grow really quickly, don't they? They grow really, really quickly. It's crazy, but I think I'm imagining it because I think you'd say to me that was 3 weeks ago, and I go, no, it wasn't. It was like last week.
Yeah, you're not great.
So I think, yeah.
Like when we were talking earlier on, I was saying that'll be 2 weeks on.
Yeah.
No,
it was yesterday. Like I was with someone yesterday, and I couldn't remember what day it was. Went to the doctor again about things, and I'm going to get a blood test. But you know, Ireland's health
HSE has been hacked.
Yeah, so we can't get anything done because I think I'm starting to suspect of a thyroid problem because I'm getting very forgetful. I said to him what were the symptoms, and he said
everything to you.
Dry skin, which I am getting, but I think I could be showering too much. Forgetfulness, constipation.
You don't look like the type of person that showers too much. You look like the type of person that shits too much, Ari.
Vanessa. That's possibly true, though. What was the other thing he said? I remember I said it to you. Remember I was telling you. I was telling you in the car all the symptoms, and I said like, "There's one more, and I can't remember what it was." And then I remembered it was forgetfulness. So,
but I was saying to you, I think that could be your problem.
Oh, you know, he said reoccurring infections. So I could have a thyroid issue. But he said they can't give me a blood test because they can't give
you the blood test. They can't
send anything off because of the HSE being hacked by the Russian Yokes.
Cyber bullies.
Here's Christian. He'll entertain us.
Christian?
What do you want to talk about, buddy?
You know, you're technically closer to being a millionaire than Jeff Bezos is, because he's
so far from being a millionaire.
Yeah.
Oh.
That doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
I know what you're saying, but it doesn't make sense.
Well, if you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're
Picking
saying.
up what you're putting down.
I know what you're saying. It means
I know it doesn't really make
I
sense.
could be a millionaire, but there's a very interesting thing. There's a guy that does a thing about the equivalent of what a million and versus a billion. What's his name? What's the name of that chap? Do you know the guy? He's the English guy. He does these really interesting little. He's always wearing a red top. What's his name?
I don't know.
But what he did was he said he measured the thickness of a dollar, right? And it's like, say, 0.008 millimeter or something like that, right? And then what he did was he said, how many of these, how if you stacked them one on top of the other, how high would it be? But he said, if you lay it down, how long would it be, right? So he took a couple of steps, and in a couple of steps, the thing counted up, and it was $10,000. And he walked to the end of this car park. Are you listening? He walked to the end of this car park, and that was $1 million, right? So it's like a typical kind of supermarket car park. Nothing. So then he said, how long do you think I'd have to walk for to be $1 billion? Right? So how long do you think he'd have to walk for?
20 times the length of the car park.
No, he had to get into a car and drive for an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Did you see it?
That is a fascinating
Isn't it amazing?
story.
Isn't it? Yeah.
It takes 36 years to just normally count to $1 billion.
Well, you see, the thing about it is, to put it into context, if $1 million is a weekend, $1 billion is 20 years.
There's a first time person there.
What?
Paul Mooney.
Hi, Paul Mooney. No, I think Paul's been on before. Hi, Paul.
Bob, have
Maybe
you
he
been
has.
on before?
That's near me, 2 miles away. What is?
Where
Just a
Laura
mile
is staying is near.
From Culvertown. All right, so obviously people have given up on us.
Well, you did say to them to talk amongst yourselves. I just got a message there from one of the girls in my class last night, and she said her legs are killing her. They don't like to tell me, but I love to hear when they're in pain.
What are we talking about? I mean, this has gone down in history of the worst videos ever. and I wouldn't say our videos are great anyway. This is terrible. This is shocking. What are we gonna? People are gonna tune out. Are they tuning out?
No,
Are they tuning out? No.
They are. 2 people gone.
Don't tune out. That just make me depressed.
Oh,
So
Dad,
probably
this
passed
is
you
all
some time ago
you,
cycling. Oh, he's not. Laura's.
Oh, another person's tuned out.
What?
Oh, where are we going? Everyone's leaving.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So
We'll be
anything?
going now in a few minutes. Anyway.
Anything? That's terrible. That is, V. That
They
is
won't have
shocking.
to put up with
That
us
is shocking.
anymore.
That is shocking. We'll be better. We'll be better up next week.
Oh, someone's back.
And we'll talk next week about stuff anyway. So there's no point. There's no point in forcing it, really.
Oh, well, I've had a
Will you
busy,
stop
a busy
joking
but
me?
quiet week. Christian, mind Daddy's throat.
Yeah. I think I've got
A busy
I
but
think-
quiet
think there's something.
week.
Probably. I don't know. I'm back. Good woman, Laura.
Wait, hang on.
So
She must have went off to top up her G&T.
she probably did. Did I tell you? Well, I tell people I got sleeping pills.
I think you just have.
So I went to the doctor and I told him I wasn't sleeping.
Well, you can't have one of them tonight after having a
No,
glass
I
of
know
wine.
that.
Okay.
I know that. So I wasn't sleeping. So he said, "Okay, I'll give you something for a week." And maybe that's why I'm a bit funky.
I think it is too.
Maybe that's what's wrong with me.
'Cause you're a bit edgy.
Am I?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's why they
cranky.
don't want to give you sleeping pills.
Yeah.
So he said take one or take half of one. So the first night I took one, and it conked me out. Then the
Yeah,
next
you're
night,
alright there,
the
you
next
can
night I
give
took
in.
half of one, and it wasn't enough. So there isn't a happy medium between one and half of one for me. One's too strong, and half of one is too mild. Isn't it?
Have
3/4. You can't cut them into 3/4.
Why not?
Because then I'd end up with a quarter, and what would I do with that? Useless. May as well
Well,
just take
then-
the whole thing.
Well, then what you can do is, if you get 3 pills, what you can do is...
What you could just do is go for a run and come back and go to
No,
sleep.
listen, what you could do is, you get 3 pills.
Maybe that's what it is.
You cut them all up, and with your 3 last quarters left, you combine those and go... here.
Yeah.
Michael Williams, I'm still here, but I don't know why. Just in case something fun might happen.
I know, but look, this is the 27th of these. This is the 20. Now, the first few started off a bit dodgy, didn't they?
Yeah.
I was a bit cranky in the first
Yeah.
few. I was sort of laying the ground. And the thing that drives me mad actually is your podcast.
Yeah, I know, and yet you
What's
take
tomorrow?
over and won't even let me tell a
I'm
story.
not trying to take over.
What's tomorrow?
Good luck tomorrow, V.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Aaron.
What's
Thanks, Aaron.
tomorrow?
I lived in Central Parade, 83. The guys are just having their own conversation there.
Well, that's Mr. Ford and Laura, because Laura lived where Mr. Ford is living now.
Right.
So
Right,
they're
so.
just having the chats between them and letting each other know.
Okay, well, look, there's probably no point in going on. Is there?
Prolonging the agony.
Is there?
It's a bit like root canal, isn't it, for people watching God Love Them?
We'll have a short one tonight then, will we?
Yeah.
All right.
Christian.
So,
I
the
do my
bow.
karate skills. on
Christian's
that.
beating me up. So, look, I think the thing is, folks, I'm out of. We still managed to get 3 likes. Thank you.
Karate.
I'm out of. I just don't want to let you down. I'm sure that's aimed at you. So, and Vanessa's no use at all. You're useless when it comes to
Mihal
this
lives
stuff.
on the Wirral. He sent me a picture today. It was hailing here. He sent me a picture showing me the hail there.
Thanks, thanks, Mr. Ford. And David Stafford says, "Ah, jeez, my ear."
What?
You laughed right in my ear. We are listening to you too as well. That's okay, Laura. That's all right. I don't mind. Don't mind being left out. Being sort of somehow left out of your own podcast. Although it's not a pod. And of course, it is available on, what's it called? Podbean and
I thought it was Spotify.
Spotify.
both of them. It's on both of them. You upload on Podbean and it goes to Spotify. I can't figure out how to upload it onto iTunes. It's a nightmare. And it's all down to the thumbnail. I can't get the thumbnail figured out. Until I get the thumbnail figured out, it won't let me upload onto iTunes.
Is that like a foot now?
So look, I'm gonna go.
Thanks for
them the
coming.
thing I
It's
put in
been a
your
proper
hair.
laugh.
Thanks.
Show them what I put in your
Thanks a
hair.
million. Enjoyed it.
Show them what
It's
I
a
put
bit,
in your hair.
it is a bit of social interaction, and I'm amazed people are still here considering we're all getting out of lockdown. So I live in the Wirral. How did you see that? Did Michael
On
just
the
put,
Wirral. No,
is that just a?
he's told us that before.
What's a Wirral?
The
It's a
Wirral.
whirl.
What is a Wirral though?
It's a whirl.
It's the name of a place.
I know it's the name of a place in the same way.
I reckon it's a
tower,
squirrel's
isn't it?
cousin.
Cyril the squirrel.
What do you reckon? Do you
No.
reckon the Wirral is a squirrel's cousin?
Worst podcast ever, really
I
was.
think it's
Just-
probably like his.
this is
uncle
going
or
to cost
something.
us. People are going to leave now because of this. They're going to
If we lose
unsub.
subscribers, then me and Mum
Stop
are
playing the
gonna-
victim.
And
If they leave,
Dad,
It's your fault.
if they leave, that's
It's
their.
your fault.
Dad, if we
Lost,
lose
'cause
subscribers,
we
me
are
and Mum will
wonderful.
resign from the channel because we love being in our videos so much, and I think. it'd be
Bye,
really
guys.
fun.
We're going to go and get ourselves ready. I'm going to get into my jammies. And we're going to go and get
What's that-
ourselves
what
ready
time
to
is it
watch
for
the
you?
last
I'm gonna
Gogglebox
I'm gonna
series.
I'm gonna try and have more wine and popcorn, and then I'll upload this tonight. And then
Oh yeah, I want. Some
I know, but you
popcorn.
have to go to bed early because you're
Mum, I
bringing me
watched
for
this
me.
couple minutes off. That
Injection
day-
tomorrow.
Oh, we've gone up viewers.
Aren't
How
you?
have we gone up viewers?
too late. We're going. Right. So see you guys. We'll see you next
Bye.
week. Enjoy yourselves.
The Wirral is a
The world.
A peninsula.
Is a peninsula.
Who's professional moochers?
Who's
Who's a professional moocher? Imagine that being your job.
What's a moocher?
Well,
God, your breath smells like wine.
a moocher is like someone who
Ah,
kind of a
mooches
freeloader,
off
a
people, yeah.
freeloader, isn't it?
Thanks, Laura.
Look out for V in Jamie's
And jammies.
jammies. Night. Iha everybody, and stay safe for the week.
Do.
And we'll see you all next week. And I'll try and I'll be off the sleeping pills at that stage. So hopefully hopefully something happens. Okay, this is terrible.
Mooch and they're good at it.
This is terrible. Yeah.
Bye.
Apparently the Australians mooch a lot.
That's so offensive.
So I'm told. Professional moochers. What are you doing to my hair?
He has that stuck in the back of your head. You know the way the women put their hair in their bun, their pen in their buns?
That is a great place. I'm always looking for
No.
pens.
No, please.
I'm going to start doing that. That's a
No.
great idea. Right, we're going.
Carla for your mouth for having
We're
it.
going. Mooching means walking around.
No, it doesn't. Mooching means...
Oh, like having a mooch. Does. That's what I was thinking.
No.
Does.
No, mooching means
Rummaging.
I've got your pen
you're
back in your hair.
a bit of a magpie.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
Look it up.
A moocher. A moocher
being
means
greedy or
that
something.
you'll kind of sponge off people.
I've already
Maybe it
said
means
goodbye to
something
everybody.
else in
I'm
other
going.
places.
Okay, well, there's still 13 people there listening to us.
There's not.
Yeah, there is.
Smooching means kissing.
No. Well, what's rummaging then? Rummaging is
Rummaging
rooting.
is when you have your hands in somebody else's bag. Gives a rummage.
Is it?
It's rummaging through your
That's
drawers.
rooting. That's a rooting.
rummaging through your drawers.
I give up. I'm never doing this again.
Your
I'm
pen's
never
back in
going.
your hair
I'm
now.
never going. Mr. Ford, still here. Mr. Ford, I'm going. I'm going,
No,
Mr.
don't
Ford.
come.
No, I'm going. I'm going.
No.
I'm
Okay.
No, stop it now. Stop.
Oh,
Say
no.
slán, everybody.
Slán, everybody.
Slán, everybody.